I'm really honored to have you both here. So please tell me what was the experience and what was the seminar about?
Well, I think the seminar is basically FIDE's, as per the FIDE's motto of creating more trainers, which is natural. And if you want to really propagate the game, then it has to be taken to the masses. And in order to take to the masses, you need more and more trainers. So here the idea is to FIDE certified trainers. And that is important because FIDE certified trainers will be the highest class. If you look at the ratio compared to the grandmasters, you will find that only 6 FIDE senior trainers are there in India compared to 73 grandmasters, and even FIDE trainers there are only 17 compared to international masters of 120. Or even in Asia the same situation arises. So why these titles are difficult? Because training is much more difficult than playing. It's a different aspect rather, and the idea is to create players who will have a good playing background themselves, and they will be able to go to people and children and teach in a proper way, because all the athletes including Usain Bolt or PT Usha, the first trainer has to be good. Even Saina Nehwal has said that Gopi Chand was not my first trainer, but my first trainer Vijay Kumar was very good. So I think that's relevant, that we want to go to the crowd with their first trainer, a good trainer, not their parent or somebody, because then otherwise like detraining takes a lot of time and then we lose a lot of it. The purpose is that quality training to everybody, and that's the reason why FIDE and of course AISAF wants to do that. And the Sports Authority of India has first time sponsored this program. There's also a reason for that. 12 years back when Adil Sumariwala took over the Olympic Association, Federation, so he expressed the need of creating quality trainers, being Arjuna Award himself. And then the SAI allowed them whatever they wanted, and we see a result in Neeraj Chopra. So naturally, these results in the Olympic Games, particularly by athletes, have impressed the government. The government is willing to shed a reasonable amount of funds to create Indian trainers. And we want to go to the same model where if it is beyond the capacity of Indian trainers to coach, only then we hire the foreign coaches, even for the Indian team. So that model of athletics is now going to be probably followed, and the purpose is to create quality trainers in hundreds and thousands and perhaps even larger. So that's the vision.
Thank you so much. A question to you, as Sir mentioned that a quality trainer is very much needed. I have been interviewing players who always mention that a proper mentor or a proper trainer is missing from their life, and that's why they are unable to go beyond a certain level. So in today's date where all the information, there's an abundance of information and material already available online and the engines readily available, what is the role of a trainer and how challenging is a role of a trainer in today's date?
Well, I guess you answered that question yourself because you said it is available in abundance. Like it's more than you will ever need. Already that kind of material is available. I think we as trainers, it's our duty to basically like what we basically work on, especially with stronger players and stuff, is that we help them choose what is better and what is not, and they are necessarily. I mean, in my case, it has happened like in hundreds of times. I would say that the player actually is much stronger than I ever was, but then I was still able to guide them because I was able to, I mean, like pick and choose the selective material. I think one good aspect that was missing in, let's say, our younger days when I was playing as a child was that there was almost zero material, but now today it is too much material. But then that data has to be processed, and the relevance of what is useful and what is not is what I think is most important. And through these such seminars, I've been doing these for last several years now, and through these seminars, the idea is to create that quality amongst trainers, so that at the very grassroots level also, as Pravin sir just now mentioned, the undoing would not be needed. So once we have these numbers in place in every state, in every nook and corner of the country, every district, let's say, that's the vision. And if that happens at some point of time, the fusion of players saying that okay, we have too many good teachers now, it's really easy to play the game. That will be the day the whole scheme will be very successful.
Absolutely agreed. Sir, a question to you. You both have been promoting chess for a long time, even when there was no internet, and you have been with chess. So what changes have you seen in the last couple of years? Because chess has boomed in terms of online playing, streaming. So what do you think are the good or the bad? Is there any bad impact, or everything is going towards the positive side?
Normally, not, everything doesn't go in for a positive side, but yeah, there are some lot of important things that happened during pandemic. That chess was the only game which could be played online. Because if you look at online cricket or something, it's not real cricket, but chess is a real game you play. So there were a lot of sort of beginners and new people who were attracted to this game. So we saw sudden rise in number of players who played tournaments. People who couldn't go to different towns, who couldn't get leave, they had opportunity of because they were working from home, they had more time and they could play tournament. But obviously, if you look at it from the playing strength wise, then it's not going to help, because most of these play tournaments, online tournaments, are 3 minutes tournaments or 5 minutes tournaments or 1 minute tournament, which basically doesn't need any type of special chess knowledge, but it has different conditions are, I think, required, as how quickly you move the mouse and other things. So, and naturally for online tournaments, however good you play, there are no titles by FIDE, and some special titles were created. But obviously, nobody in the organization would think that it is a boom to chess in the real way, except that you create a large number who is sensible enough to go to the regular old methods after the pandemic days are over. If we say, okay, even the regular players, if they say, okay, now there is no need to play regular tournaments, it could have a negative impact also, because both are not the same. And one of the important things in some tournaments, I see players suddenly do badly in regular tournaments, because I asked them, have you had any board practice? They said, no, we haven't touched the board for last 2 years. And now directly you go and look at the board, things are different. So again, it has created a number. How the numbers take it and how we take the need of the numbers to come to regular in the main field, main sort of track. This is important, and that is the challenge before us.
Agreed. Sir, one question to you. As we have seen in the nationals that happened in the past week, not many participants from the Northeast and not even good results have come out. So what do you think Northeast is lacking, and what can be done, or is because as our president has already mentioned that in every school he is trying to promote chess. So what can be the thought process to build chess in this part of the country?
Well, I guess the first major step is taken now. It's like, the how we create quality players is by organizing quality events. And the first Grandmaster tournament ever of the Northeast is going to start from tomorrow. I think that's a major step. I think this is going to really boost chess in this entire region. And I'm sure that other Northeastern states in near future will also follow suit and have quality tournaments. See, for them, the people who live here, I mean, it's like it's a huge challenge to travel all the way to, let's say, New Delhi or some other places, or especially south of India. It used to take, like when I was young, it used to take them like days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days to reach a certain place. And I know players from here, there used to be some really strong players at some point of time, because they had the dedication to be able to participate. And even in Indian team, there was a player, A.B. Mitai, who was his contemporary at some point of time, and he represented India on several occasions. We have Lasrami Mocha from Manipur, who was also a very, very strong player. Even today, he's a strong player. So the thing is that we did not get the desired number of strong players. Like, we don't talk about Chennai or Maharashtra. We can't speak in those terms about Northeast, because the challenges of the past were very different. Right. These days, obviously, the travel has become much easier. Plus, most important is to create that awareness. And for that, once there are these kind of tournaments, they keep happening over a period of time. And surely there will be numbers. From numbers, there will be talents. The talents will be nurtured. We are trying to create a pool of coaches here, and subsequently, we are sure that in just a few years, a lot of things are going to change for the better.
That's a great way to look at it. And one final question. I mean, this question is to both of you. I mean, as per your perspective, how does the Indian chess future look like? And are there any bright stars that you see that are gonna reach the 2750 level or the super GM level? That those are amongst the youngsters today.
Well, I think there are quite a lot who are capable of doing that, And obviously, a sportsman's career cannot be predicted. So Karekin was world number 2 a few days back, and he played a world championship match, and now he is probably not going for the world championship race. So we'll not go into the objectivity, and I don't want to mention names because it could discourage the others. But yeah, there are quite a few. I would say at least 6, 7, 10 children I can see who, if they are on the right path, they could reach that level. And if there's guidance from Vishwanathan Anand, then obviously it will be really great. I mean, if Vishwanathan Anand is involved in teaching, real teaching chess to these, I think that's not impossible. At the same time, who will become and who will not, it depends on the character of that child as well, and the quality of trainer they are restricted at. At times you have to change your trainers. And more knowledge you get, you have to go to the higher trainer, and it's the trainer's job to hand over the pupil to the higher trainer and arrange. And that is a very important job. If not done, the stagnation could come earlier. So there are some of the important factors we should see. I would say that at least 10 who could be going to top if properly trained.
Yeah, we are all looking forward to these youngsters. What are your point of views?
Yeah, well, of course. You see, there is a major difference between a 2600 grandmaster, a 2700 grandmaster, and beyond. If you look at it statistically and historically, we have had only 4 players so far who have ever crossed the 2700 mark, and well, currently only 3. One of them is no longer there. But the thing is that it is obviously a very giant leap ahead. But to sustain that momentum, you have to stay put for several years together. It's a story. Becoming a grandmaster is only one part of the story. Becoming a very strong player and beyond, and to compete at the highest level and all is completely different story. There are obviously, like Pravin sir said, there are too many children to pick and choose. I mean, it's very hard to pick and choose one particular bunch or anything. And I see even at 2400 levels, those who are currently, I see so many brilliant talents who are coming up. And I see also obviously those who have already made a mark. We already know all these Pragnanandas, and Arjun is obviously doing very well. So is Gukesh. So is you name them. I mean, if you take, I was so happy. I mean, just to mention, let's say one point. I just saw our nationals ending. What is the average age of the top 6 players? It's hardly 20. And this itself is an indication that the future belongs to these youngsters, those who are coming up. But this is the cruelty of sport. You never know what is actually in store for them. But wishing them the best, and I'm sure that if not all, but some of them will definitely scale those peaks. And I'm also sincerely hoping that it happens, because we need someone to step into those very big shoes of a certain Vishy Anand. If not today, maybe 10 years from now. And I think it is possible, but unfortunately it's not something that will happen by chance. It will happen with a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, a lot of love for the game. You have to stay put. I mean, Anand is still in love with the game. He is still learning, I'm sure, as we speak. So, and he's also started to mentor some of these children, which is great news for Indian chess. I think it's going to be really impactful in the future, and we already see that there are so many. I mean, it's hard to name. He was very right not naming anyone. I did name a few, but having missed out on somebody like Ronak is also there. I mean, we are spoiled for choices here, right? So this is the
agreed.
This is the real scenario. You're spoiled for choices and picking up who can or who will. But all the same, the onus is on these youngsters. They have to. The challenge is huge. It's massive. They have to take it up, stay put for years together, and then why not? It's really possible.
Well, I think the complacency is the factor. Where you want to stop, where you set a target, and you have set a target, it's a great target of 2600, then probably you will not be able to go to 2700. Or this is a complacency, it's a mindset. What is the mindset? If you are looking at trying to be better every day, that's normally not the mindset. The mindset is something, like for example, some have a goal of becoming grandmaster, some have a goal of becoming, say, 2600 grandmaster, all that sort. And there is naturally, when you achieve that target, there is cooling down perhaps the financial reasons, any other reasons. So that's important. And overall, I've seen that the peak of the player generally comes in about 9 years, 10 years time. Beyond that, it doesn't come. If it comes, the peak may come, but the class you play at is normally decided in the first 7, 8, 9 years. If you look at from that point of view, and Anand's comment that if you are really looking for becoming a world champion, then you should at a grandmaster latest by 15. So that's the comment, and that made 3 years back. So I think that's a relevant thing. That
Right.
Then you are really looking for that. Otherwise, it's just the mental makeup that destroys the players.
Right.
I think I can just summarize it in 2 words. A famous quote by Steve Jobs: "Stay hungry and stay foolish." That would be it.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you guys. I hope to see you again, and I wish you all the best for this year.
Thank you.